Yes, I'm aware I have a huge pimple. It is what it is. That's life. So I have always, since I was a kid, had this weird belief that I was going to do something to save the world or help the world, whatever. Hero complex kind of thing. So I've always also been told I'm delusional with my thoughts because I've always believed in the good in humans and blah, 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 blah. None of that's really important. My inner thoughts on all of this is the interesting thing is uh, the fact that when a person finds out that a cult is not real is the time that they hold their beliefs the hardest. And now I always knew that I was a very opposite person in this world, hence the Alice in Wonderland having such an effect on me. But what I find really interesting is my whole life I have been able to dismiss everybody's negativity with this belief of this delusional, grandiose bullshit that I was always aware that was just grandiose ideas in my head. Now, see, here's where the problem lies. Now, all of a sudden, reality itself is starting to align with these grandiose ideas of mine. So now here's where I'm actually struggling. So in a cult, when you feel like when you find out it's fake, you believe the hardest. Because my delusional armor was always what I've used. Now that it's feeling less delusional, in reality, I'm feeling more delusional as a human being and grandiose as shit. And I don't like it. It's very uncomfortable for me. Um, these are all the opposites of what I've always believed. I've always believed that I was just crazy and just using what people. And now I'm seeing things that I like logic. I like explanation. I like understanding things. I like knowing that magic is an illusion that you can explain. That makes me feel comfortable. But I also always believed in like spiritual connection and the whole world is all connected and all of that type of stuff. So now that they're in my eyes kind of meshing, it's a weird, uncomfortable shaking to my being. I'm having a hard time eating. I'm having a hard time sleeping. It's just weird. I feel very uncomfortable with the idea of actually having a possibility of being right. I suffer from imposter syndrome in everything that I do. And so I feel like this idea that I can be working with all of these other people around the world that we don't even know each other. We probably don't. Well, I kind of try to watch as many of the videos of everybody else that I can that has these kind of messages, but probably not like connected in that logical way. And I'm seeing people posting videos of thoughts that I'm having at that moment, and it just feels so surreal. And then get this wave of like imposter syndrome, like you no, you're a nobody. You're a grain in the sand. You can't be influential. Really, you live in your head too much. You don't live in reality the way other people do. You observe reality. You're just here to observe. You're a watcher kind of person. And so it's hard to breathe when you feel pressure. And it's even more insane when you're logical enough to know the pressure is all more in your head than this reality. But because reality can reflect your inner thoughts so much that you can get trapped in these weird, I don't know. And then I start to relax and I start to breathe and think about these thoughts out loud, and I just feel peace and comfort, and like I don't need to fight anymore. And it's just weird and strange. and comfortable and uncomfortable all at the same time. And I don't know how to explain it. And I don't know if other people are going through this at this. I don't know. I see people with aligning thoughts, but our perceptions give us confirmation bias, which means that I can take somebody's message and see it in a way that aligns with my thoughts, even if it doesn't. And I'm hyper aware of those things. So, and then there's algorithms, and it's not just that the algorithm on one platform, they're attached to certain ones. I specifically stay with like Google and YouTube, and so it's like Meta and Google, and so they're all tracking what you're using and influencing. And when you're already a paranoid, anxiety filled human, that stuff, I don't know if it's helpful or harmful in ways, because sometimes it feeds into things and other times it's comforting. It makes you feel less alone. I titled this with inner thoughts. I'm so hyper glad, but my hyper awareness is so glad right now that there's nobody actually tuning into my thoughts, and I'm just being a weirdo with a camera in my face, waiting to go to work. But I felt like I needed to do this. I was already contemplating doing a live just because I had so many thoughts going through my head, and I just wanted to kind of get them off my chest. And I want people to see the journey, because we often try to explain the process after we're done with it, and you forget so much of the process when you're at the finished state. So I just wanted to, I don't know, document the journey, if not to help one human being, which I hope at least, then at the very least for myself to document my process and what I'm going through. And on the bad days, I watch some of my own videos and it gives me encouragement. On some days it doesn't. Some days I have to watch other people's videos that are saying things in a, I don't know, more soulful, soul touching way to really get to me. So I don't know, the world's a beautiful place. It's complex and anxiety fucking driving, but at the same time it's so fucking beautiful. Every bit of it, from just how diverse everything is, from how many different fucking species of an animal there is. Lizards, do you see how many different types of lizard there are in your yard? I know I talk about lizards and ants. They're around me a lot. If I'm not forced into the world, I'm just gonna stay at home. It's fine. It's comforting for me to stay here and relax. People pay for homes for a reason, not to go spend a bunch of money, to go have fun. That ultimately, most of the time, if you add out the time of it, you're kind of like standing or walking most of the time anyway. So I don't know why I'm trying to justify that I like being a homebody. It's nobody's business, it's mine. But when you're doing these things, when you're taping and you're aware that other people are going to watch, your brain has this weird reflex to trying to think about what they're thinking. This is also why when you're watching a video, people can have reactions and you're like, wow, it was like they were in my head. Yeah, it's because they're human too, and we kind of have an idea of what other humans think because we've observed and interacted with them. Like, even if you weren't paying, like in a hyper vigilant type of way, you're a human being. You still process and observe things. This is why you can actually learn something from anybody. Like, even if somebody is not an expert in like book smarts or things like that, they're probably really fucking smart on hands-on things. That's a common pattern you'll find all the time, is the people that don't really rely on book smarts are fucking amazing at fucking crafts, usually mechanics, things of that kind of nature. So you can actually learn from everybody. You just have to know what you're learning from them, like what areas that they're really observant in or have just so much experience in that they're going to learn tricks and of the trade. Like that's just how the world works. Um, well, for me, I can't actually. So that's one of the things that I'm hyper aware of, and I know that it doesn't portray a lot in my videos. Oh, hi. It's a weird bug. I don't know if you guys can see that. It's kind of flying right out of the camera sight, but right in my face. Um, yeah, I'm not. I lost my train of thought there. There's a bug. I do that. I don't remember what I was saying. Well, now that ends my whole train of thought because now I'm obsessively thinking about bug and where it was at, and now I'm going to circle for a minute. So I'm not going to tape all of that because, well, while it is part of the process, it's just one that kind of is irritating and for other humans to have to endure. So I will spare people of that part of the crazy train.